your host, Stephen Seidel. We have another amazing show for you today. We have Charlotte Hohorst from JVC PR. Charlotte, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hi, Stephen.
It's an honor and a pleasure to talk to you. You're calling from LA, of offices in New York as well. Two of my favorite places. But one of my other favorite things is PR. So tell me a little bit about JVC PR and what it is you do with them.
I'm happy to. I am the vice president of our design division here at JVC. We are an 11-year-old media relations firm, as you said, with offices in New York and Los Angeles and, teams sprinkled throughout the country as well. And we really focus on media relations for companies that interest us. When Jen and Melissa, the partners, started this firm back in 2014, they were really inspired by some of the disruptive brands in fashion, in home, and they wanted to service them a little differently. They felt like the traditional PR model wasn't really working for them. So they kind of took a new approach and built a very senior level team of true media relations generalists to kind of cater to these new and interesting brands. Since then, we've grown quite a bit. We have 50-ish team members across the agency now. And we have different departments that range from health and wellness. I run our design and home and innovation team. And we really support brands in their growth. When we started, we were working with brands that were mostly, early stage startups. But as we've scaled, we've attracted a lot of business from big legacy brands that are kind of scratching their heads, wondering why tiny competitors are getting all this great press and wanting to, think differently and think like a startup. So today we service brands of all sizes, but our approach is pretty true to the origins of the company.
That's fantastic. You're speaking my language, obviously. And so when you talk about some of these emerging startups and then some of these legacy brands, Fortune 100, could you give us a name, maybe one cool client you work with? You talk about being disruptive. Tell us how you disrupted with your media relations.
Yeah, I'm happy to. So I run our design team, and the definition of that is ever evolving. I started really working with home brands. We work with brands like Parachute and Everhem that are kind of the first to be the direct to consumers in their respective category. But as I said, the definition of design has evolved quite a bit. And I also work with some experiential companies. One that's top of mind that if you know me, if you follow me on LinkedIn, I have a deep love for. It's called the Slumu Institute. They are an immersive experience and slime museum based with 5 locations. So they're based here in New York City, but they have 5 locations across the US. Definitely check their website to see if there's one near you, because it's amazing, not just for kids, it's really for the kid and everybody. And I think they're a company that's really taking experiential to the next level, but also really pushing the envelope from a corporate perspective as it relates to DEI and hiring. They have an awesome commitment to a 10% neurodivergent workforce, which I think is really amazing. So it's such an honor to work with the founders of that company and be able to drive not just press that generates interest, that generates ticket sales, but also press that really speaks to the mission of the company and what they're trying to do to really just spark joy in the world, what's more fun than working on a client like that?
Yeah, that's our mission. Do good, give back, and make an impact. You said so many things that are just, my head's like a pinball. DEI, neurodivergence. I have, we say neurospicy in our community. Love that 10% initiative. With the slime museum itself, what is one key takeaway that any brand or company can learn from some of your brilliant efforts to grow their brand and to increase their exposure across all channels? What would be one key takeaway you would suggest?
I think finding your story is so important. We tend to shy away from brands and listen, I respect the hustle, but if you're a brand who's just out here trying to make money, it's probably not going to be a fit for my roster. And I really encourage any company to look inwards and say to themselves, beyond sales or beyond revenue, what are we trying to do in the world? How are we trying to improve our industry, our consumer experience, and really zero in on that, because that's going to be what attracts press and differentiates you. Whether you're a 1-year-old startup or a 20-year-old brand, press want to know why you're different. And so honing in on that story, finding partners who help you extract it if it doesn't come naturally to you, and shouting it from the rooftops.
Yeah, I love that. Story is everything. Storytelling is where we come from. We usually start with your mission, then we get more into your message, then the media, and then the awesome is, the momentum. Sounds like you're building some amazing momentum at JBC PR. Charlotte, we're out of time, but I want to say thank you so much for joining today. Thank you for blessing us with your experiences.
My pleasure. Anytime.
And if you want to learn more about JBC PR in Charlotte, you can check out dailynewsnetwork.com and PR Champions. Thanks so much for joining. Go out there and make an impact.